Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I've decided to make this video. Here we are for a moment, maybe to clarify for the newcomers. Just a little bit. In short, the logic of the strategy, this for the NASDAQ includes the weekly levels and daily levels. There was the opening, a sharp rise. A retest in short of the lows made just before the opening with good volumes. Marked by the VX indicator. There was a recovery at the moment of the breakout of this doji, which brought the prices back, close to the ST1 area. That was the one, that we had indicated to monitor for a breakout in the morning briefing. Okay, perfect. Let's get to the point. I wanted to do some live trades, but I got caught up, in this preamble because I started from within. I didn't intend to make this video, but it just came to me like that. So suddenly this urge came up and I said, no, I'm making this video today. But I haven't been around. I haven't been trading for 45 days because I've been on a journey, new to meditation. And so, I just got into it and I wasn't. I'm ready and focused for trading. I just wanted to make this brief aside. So let's try to take a quick look. If there's a test of BS1, the assistance indicator is showing us, oh, wow, a long trade. From here, what could have happened? And a little bit, if it stops there, be afraid there's desire for recovery. If we go back, so look where it stopped, exactly where we said in the morning briefing. This is the lowest point recorded on Tuesday. Perfect, it tested it just absolutely perfectly. Tested first at the top, second attempt, and then off we go. We can say that at the moment this minimum is holding. Thank you. Now, so the obstacle, of course, is to recover this part here. Where is it? So SD, there's VSO. So there's a VSO, which is the first weekly support level. So right now, obviously, all of these are support levels, but since it has been down, they are obviously acting at this moment. Oh, from resistance. So the strategy from here, it was said to go long because there was a breakout, the retest. We went long. In this area, it could have gone a bit higher, testing, maybe trying a short, but it stayed a bit distant. So maybe it could come back up now. Maybe to this new test it's doing here at the peak of the doji. And it could start again for a new attack here. Then DS of someone who then doesn't respond exactly. So all this area here. So this is the crux of the matter with this center, that the boss is 0, level to pass. And then further down, there are still many obstacles. So the upward path is quite tough. Let's say we can frame this moment as a bounce since it stopped right here below the previous lows. Absolutely a bounce up to this point. More or less similar situation. Let's take a look at it together on S. Here it comes. Not even done yet. In short, reaching these lows here had touched, in short, creating this double bottom of mine. Here. Perfect. It also hit 56 and 50, just perfect. And from that bounce, then if the level goes up that we indicated, so this morning in the morning briefing to keep an eye on, because in short, if this breaks, obviously, in short, there's nice there's enough space. Let's see for now. So I repeat, this if maybe in short has the characteristics of a nice bounce, better, more toned. The Nasdaq, compared to being still, well, stuck just above the level. If you want to find some bags to eat, I'll give you the word. It's going in short towards the SD1. SD1, sign just below. This is beautiful. At these levels, when they are so messed up in short, they can be traded really well. There's the volume pressure, which is from the GPS indicator that's accompanying. These are all the BC3 levels. This one you see here in orange is what is forming, or rather what has formed. Now at 19,670, you see how it has settled right above. And the movement has started again, leaving aside the fact that this was created in real time. And it gives us this indication of support at this moment that it has provided. If you're at 70, 750, 80, you can work with utility in short, then it will be tough. And guys, please don't get too comfortable with this kind of volatility, because when it goes away in short, it's all adrenaline that you'll have to learn to manage. And when it's gone, it will be hard to get used to trading. For many fewer points compared to how many you might be able to make today. So be careful not to get too comfortable in these mechanisms of the mind, because then the mind always seeks that one, that adrenaline, that jolt, that kind of profit. Inevitably, this takes us off track, because then it leads us to make 13 mistakes. Out of size, out of measure, with widened stops. In short, all the other consequences that we've already partly covered in the videos. For the education psychological, that we also try to provide some guidance in this regard. There are some videos on YouTube that you can easily review whenever you want together. Also, this, of course, will be published. We'll do some more, and I'll do some others too. In short, it will be about psychology, because it's a topic I care about a lot. You all know it, so that's fine. In short, I like to delve into it and help you discover it, because I believe it's one of the main keys to achieving success. Regardless of the methodology that can be used, we need to learn to be balanced. In short, there are many aspects to have to manage. Not easy to do. And, well, there are technical qualities that can help us to help in doing this, like mindfulness, right? I practice it, and I suggest everyone to practice it. Okay, so we did another short one. So, I repeat, it's a fact that I'm making this video just for the new ones who have joined. So, and we'll see. In short, if I can do some operations, but I'm not centered, I don't like it. So making crazy trades, I mean, maybe just trying to force it. I can make one from a small lot, unusually. Let's take a moment now and to look at this. It was beautiful. So the DSD test 1 with the downward swing at 750 and 700. It was beautiful. I mean, I called it, and then, in the chat, hey, Nana. I didn't do it. But this, is all about strategy. Unfortunately, this didn't manage to signal it. Because, obviously the assistant indicator needs to have concrete data, so probably on text. It signals it, so it has to be afterwards. It has to meet certain parameters to be able to signal it. And so, it didn't signal it. But, obviously we are not machines. So I had signaled this, and it was a nice swing, to do it in the absolute best way. Well, it was nice and clean. So 50 points. I mean, not having taken them all, but I'm saying 30, 35. So they could have easily taken them. So, in less than 2 minutes. Even though this is a 5-minute chart, it was quite quick. since the candle opened, which is currently halfway. Let's see the timer. Almost 3 minutes have passed, absolutely. When you see it lit up for the GPS, it means that the target, one of the 3 levels, has been reached. In this case, it was the free point that has been reached, so a level from which the price can bounce. Obviously, if it were to be violated, as in this case, the levels will update. These 3 lines you see moving on the chart are part of the GPS indicator. Okay, pressure is rising, so there was a bounce from the flip point. Okay, this below instead is the KVP indicator, which is a percentile volume indicator that gives us. So it gives indications over a time frame of how the current volumes compare to those measured over this time frame. So not in absolute terms. And it gives us the indication. So yesterday, for example, the volumes were high. Right now they aren't as high as yesterday. Let's see that. Well, this gives us the percentile measure. Right now we're at the 76th percentile, while yesterday, I was brushing against peaks between 80 and 85. So at certain points, well, at the beginning of the week, Wednesday at 99%. It's always measured, of course, over a measured time frame. And this gives us an indication, of whether the movement is happening or not. So accompanied by volumes. You know that while all my analyses and all my levels, they are the results of studying volumes, and I manage them with an algorithm that I have structured. Just a moment, if we can. Here it is. I want to see if we can make some trades even here. For example, once again, we could obviously go back on air from this area to VS1, which at that moment had been broken and was therefore reacting as support. Okay, so the measurements are 6 and 680. It's 6, and between 6 and 80. Here, at the level of 675. 687 moves by 10 points. The difference, however, is that, even if you want to take it, you notice that the piece is moving, even though in this case it didn't really take off cleanly. In short, the level was there. In short, the reaction was there because we have, a sort of ascending channel there that could easily bring the price with difficulty, perhaps, to retest this path here higher. Let's see. Well, obviously, at this moment, it shouldn't lose 700, the 700 area, because then it would fit into the whole shower area. And so it could easily be, with this volatility, it could easily lead the price to test the big SD2 again. So keep an eye on it right now. In these cases, these are the ones to watch. These are technicalities that you need to learn, that you need to get the hang of, because if the movement has broken this channel, obviously the return inside could definitely give a push, then bearish. Okay, and we've mentioned this. Well, I don't want to make it too long, but just a presentation video. Here are some of these indicators, but there are many more that maybe. This is the VLC indicator that gives us these colored candles, certain volume levels. There was the KSP. So here it is. I have it turned off. Let's see if it has signaled anything. Here it is. A level has formed right here on this doji. That has another level. That can definitely be useful for us at 656. Just below. So a more CD level. So having it activated maybe here yesterday, right? It's a nice entry along with a stop below. This other level, KFKSP, could definitely provide us with some decent protection. What else is left? Well, there are others. They're a bit older in terms of perspective. We're a bit limited in their use. Okay, this here, obviously the assistant indicator has this classic version for the D levels, and then there's one for the smaller levels, because I did it for both so that one can have a double indication. like in this case here, we find a contrarian long on SD2, which is at the daily level. And here it gave us the long break on VS1 at the weekly level. The indicator, obviously weekly, because both indicators always work on the strings that we need to input here in the morning. Okay? Perfect. I think I've told you a few things. So just to summarize for the newcomers, especially, well, maybe there are still some doubts regarding the BG3 indicator. Now that we're here and not looking back. So at the moment I live in Italy, so there it is. We haven't switched to daylight saving time yet, so I'm going to set it to midnight, which doesn't change anything for me. Okay. Then what I'm going to change is the opening time for the opening time that I usually have set here. 15:30, 15:45, 21:50 as closing times, 22:05. But since right now in the United States, they already have daylight saving time, while here in Europe, we don't have it yet. Of course, I keep these levels. When we switch to it, we will also, of course, these will return to at the current time. Therefore, it will be 15:30, 15:45 for Europeans. It will be 9:30, 9:45 for Americans. This is the setting for the BC3 levels from yesterday. Aquí son mio. As for today's levels, I have it set up this way, starting from midnight, so at 21 SUA, then at 6 in the morning with the Asian close, the European open, and the American open. Okay, so here it is, this level in orange, which is the one that has just been created now. Then there's the other one that will be created tonight. I'll make use of it, obviously, on Monday. Perfect. So there are two indicators that you load, one with the dates of the 20th and one with the 21st, with the difference, of the references. Perfect. I think I've really covered everything this time regarding these new ones. I'll do well. Then, if I have time over the weekend, a video on psychology. Thank you all again for your attention, and we'll catch up later in the chat.